Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason in Washington, D.C. on the National Mall, kind of near the southern edge. And I am right next to an underlooked memorial that not many people really know about unless they're walking past it. And I was one of those people 6 years ago when I was just walking down the National Mall, going from, memorial to memorial, and I noticed this and I was like, John Paul Jones. Well, I'm a rock music fan, and when people say John Paul Jones, I think of the bassist from Led Zeppelin, but there's a more important John Paul Jones that is being paid tribute to. It is administered by the National Park Service, and I'll go ahead and tell you all about it. And in case you're wondering where this memorial is, it is right between the World War II, and then there's the Washington Monument right there. Yeah, that's the World War II, behind those trees and all. And so here is John Paul Jones, also known as Commodore John Paul Jones. He was the United States' first naval war hero, and he received the Congressional Gold Medal after the American Revolutionary War ended. He allegedly said, "I have not yet begun to fight," during the Battle of Flamborough Head. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little backstory, and I'll try to keep it lengthy because there are a lot of details about his service. But he was born John Paul in Scotland, and he immigrated to the United States in the 1760s. And then when he immigrated, he added Jones as his last name. He had been a sailor, and when war broke out with the British, he joined the Continental Navy. Jones was then promoted to captain and commanded his first ship, which was the USS Providence, followed by the USS Ranger. To this day, he is often referred to as the father of the American Navy. There are lots of details when he served the United States, but he would later serve in the Russian army. But he was forced out when it was alleged that, well, I don't know how to say this in the right way, but he raped a 10-year-old girl who was Russian. But at the age of 45, Jones died in Paris, France, where he was exiled. He was buried in Paris at the St. Louis Cemetery in an unmarked grave. It wasn't until 1899 when Americans traveled to the country looking for his remains. But it wasn't until 1905 when they were unearthed. And Jones' body was brought back to the United States, and he was interred at the Naval Academy Chapel in Annapolis, Maryland. Tongue twister there. And then this was dedicated, and Teddy Roosevelt gave a speech here. So what I'm going to do is read the inscription here. He lived from 1747, and again he was born in Scotland, and he died 1792. The first to compel foreign man of war to strike colors to the stars and stripes. Very nice. And the sun is very bright. I'm going to try and get a nice angle as much as I can. There were paintings of him that survived, and luckily they were able to get a view of what he looked like. And then I'll see what's behind the memorial. I'll look a little pool there on the side. So this is what it looks like on the back of it. On the top, it says, "Surrender. I have not yet begun to fight." And then underneath the caption, it says, "In life, he honored the flag. In death, the flag shall honor him." Very nice. And yes, this is located on a triangle, and very busy DC traffic. I mean, DC, I would consider a city that never sleeps. There's Potomac River, and then in the background, that big white dome, that is Jefferson Memorial. Oops, sorry, uneven sidewalk there. So, I thought I'd give you a little insight on this very underlooked memorial is.